Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be playing Oceans. I'll be using the official solo variant. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up now to play a solo game of Oceans. I did an unboxing video of this one a couple weeks ago and already talked in that one about why I'm so excited to play this game. I'm still excited now that I've gotten to play it a little bit and looking forward to this game. So I'm using the the solo expansion right here. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going over the rules, but the setup differences are you start with 30 of the population tokens in the reef, as well as ocean zones 2 and 3, and 10 in ocean zone 1, and you don't do a migration during setup. We've got 3 deep cards out instead of 2, so 3 genetic pool piles. I've got my 6 starting cards here, and then the 2 scenarios here. When we empty ocean zone number 1, of course the Cambrian Explosion happens the first time, and then whenever it's empty, there's pathogenic immunity, which means species never overpopulate. And then we have an event for the scenario in ocean zone number 2, so every time that zone gets emptied, species double their population, take from any ocean zone. So those 2 combined are wild. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Now I'm playing on just the base level difficulty, starting at just level 1. There's different ways to scale up the difficulty on this, but I've only played a couple times. But I do really enjoy it. I think it's distinct from Evolution's Climate, but also you can tell it's an iteration on that engine. And I think they've made a lot of really great improvements. They're different enough that I still want Evolution's Climate. Why do I keep pluralizing it? Evolution Climate in my collection, but it doesn't have an official solo mode. I did find a fan-made one. I'll put a link in the description. I played that a little while ago, and it is good, but this one's maybe just a little bit smoother. So without further ado, let's take our first turn. I need to play one of these cards from my hand, and I'm going to start with Symbiotic, place a new species here. And so this one will gain after the species to the left forages or attacks. And now I'm going to feed, and so I will take 1 from the reef. And then I need to age, and I will keep my population here on the left, and I will put the opponent population here on the right. So I age, this goes here, and now we move on to the opponents. So the first thing you do is you take the first token, and if it has a red outline, it goes to the shark. A green outline goes to the whale. And this is a scale. So 1 defense. Now the shark attacks. There is nothing to attack. So sorry about you. And now the whale forages. So it's going to take 1 from the reef. Both species age. There's no penalty for the shark for not being able to age. But the whale will put 1 fish over there. And the rules do say in the solo game the population tokens are not hidden. So we'll just leave them out in piles. I got so excited that I forgot to discard or take my new cards. So let's real quick. I don't need these 2 parasitic, I don't think. Oh, maybe I will. I'll hold on to them. So let me just draw 1 new card from the surface. I'm not going to take a deep card. I got inking. I don't want that, but that's okay. So I'm going to make a new species, and I'm going to use Tentacled so it can feed twice. No, I take that back. I might do that later. Instead, I'm going to play Parasitic here. So before your feeding phase, leeches 2 from the species to the right. The species to the right doesn't have any population to leech, so this one's just going to feed. I'll feed from the reef, because it's the only place to do that. And now I need to age. And now I need to look at my cards and maybe discard some. So I think I'm going to discard Inking and Apex Predator. And I like this card Nomadic from the deep, so I'm going to take that, and we'll replace it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, I need 2 more surface cards. Transparent and Symbiotic, okay. And that Symbiotic points to the right. Now we place this defensive trait on the whale. The shark has nothing to feed on. The whale is going to take 1 from the reef. And then age. Back to me. And I guess I'm going to go a different direction than I thought I was. I'll make a new species with tentacled here. And now this species will feed, and it can feed twice. So I'll just go to the reef twice. The first time I go to the reef, this one gains from the ocean. And now this one's going to forage from the reef again, and this one will gain from the ocean again. This fish kind of slide around. Now each one ages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I don't think I want transparent, and I'm going to get rid of this whale cleaner. I'm going to take this whale cleaner from the deep. And now I need 2 more surface cards. Another symbiotic and another parasitic. I was really hoping for some filter feeders. So now we're going to add this to the shark, so its attack is now 2. And it prioritizes wherever it can get the most food, and in a tie, it always defaults to the species to the left. So it's going to take this one. And now the whale is going to forage for 1. And now they both age. And back to me. So I guess I'll make a new species here with another symbiotic. So they're all pointing towards this creature here in the middle. So this one's going to feed from the reef. It's going to forage, and then this one will gain 1 from the nearest ocean zone, and this one will gain 1 as well. And then the tentacled one can forage again. So 2 more gains from the ocean here. And then each creature needs to age, so take 1 from here. 1 from here, 1 from here. I've got a little bit of an engine going. And I'm going to discard one of these parasitics. I think it's a little bit extra, so let's grab 2 more surface cards. Bottom feeder and another parasitic, identical to the one that I just got rid of. So now we go up here. This goes onto the whale. So the shark is going to attack for 2. So it gets both of these. The whale is going to forage for 2. And they both age. And now I need to refill that incoming tokens board. So I started at level 1. Now I'm going to draw from the level 2 bag. Just using the top. Once the Cambrian Explosion hits, then we take 2 traits per turn. All right. Oh, and I never replaced that deep card a while ago. Oops. There we go. Ooh, communication. May have 1 extra trait, and all gains are doubled. That's something. I'm going to want that. And so I think I'm going to place parasitic on this one here, pointing to the left. So now before the feeding phase, this one leeches, and this one leeches here. And now I'll have this middle one forage from the reef. So each of the creatures will gain because of symbiotic. And then the tentacled one will feed again. And again, my other 2 creatures gain from symbiotic. Here's 1. I think there's another in there. 2. And yeah, that's it from that first ocean zone. So it's now officially the Cambrian Explosion. So pathogenic immunity is in place. Species never overpopulate. And we can play 2 cards per turn. We must age 2 per turn. And we can play deep cards. Now that that's unlocked, let's age this one too. This one too. And this one too. And what do I want to discard? I don't know, all this symbiotic and parasitic is fine, but I'm going to discard all 3 of these. I'm going to take this deep card and remember to replace it. Defensive spines, and I get 3 more surface cards. Goodness gracious. Inking, parasitic again, and schooling. I would really love some bottom feeders, but we'll make it work. So now that the Cambrian Explosion has happened, we're going to add 4 more traits to this. Okay, and now we place these. So the whale gets a little more defense, shark gets more attack. Now the shark is going to attack for 3. It's going to go right there. And the whale is going to forage 2. And both of them now age for 2. So I think I'm going to play communication here on this species. So I have to pay 3 population for it. And I'll put those, I don't know, here in Ocean Zone 3. So the species can have 1 extra trait. All gains are doubled. I also get 5 defense. And I can play a second card. And for the second card, I'm going to play nomadic on this species, which can have an extra trait. So that's just fine, which allows me to point these symbiotic and parasitic arrows rather than just pointing to the adjacent species an additional, and I can kind of pick my targets. So now let's feed the tentacled species again. I'm going to feed twice. Let's take from the reef twice. And for each of those feedings, each of these species will gain. All right, great. And now everything ages. So 2, 4, 6. Oh. And this one, all gains are doubled. I need to take 2 more. How quickly I forgot. I'm going to obviously keep this deep card because you can't discard those. I am going to discard these 3, and I'm going to draw 4 deep cards and choose 1, which is how it works in solo. Let's see. Oh, 2 of them are events. Feeding Frenzy. Instead of your usual feeding turn, each of your species that's allowed to attack may attack. And Proliferation, take up to 10 population from your score pile and add them to any number of species in play. That's bizarre. I guess I'll take Gigantic Scavenger. Put these here. I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. And then it doesn't affect anything, but I noticed that was a defense. It goes there. Silly. So now I need to draw 4 more surface cards. Tentacled again. Speed, Transparent, and Schooling. I could maybe use some of that. So now the opponent goes. So 1 more defense for the whale. 2 more attack for the shark. So the shark has an attack of 4. It would like to attack here, but I've got a defense of 5. So it's going to attack this tentacled one instead. Now the whale is going to forage from the reef for 2. And both species age, so the 2 comes right off the whale board, 1 off the shark board. The parasitic is not really doing much for me because the opponent is not carrying over enough population. So I'm going to have to figure something out here. So for my 2 cards, I'm going to play Tentacled again. So this one can feed 3 times, and I'll play Speed. So this creature can have 1 additional trait, and now it gains a little bit more. So each time it forages, it'll forage for 2, and I can do that 3 times. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we'll have this one forage once. So it gains 2 food from the reef, and this one gains 1 from Symbiotic, and this one has double the gains from Symbiotic, so it gains 2. And that was the first feeding. Now I'm going to do that a second time. And a third time. This looks good, but now I need to find a way to get all of this into my actual score pile and not just leave it there where the shark's going to eat it all. Well, first let me age. This one's going to age 2. This one ages 2. They're all going to age 2. So don't have any traits that affect aging. But I am going to take this Deep Sea Kraken card, and I'm going to discard Transparent, and now I need to draw 2 more surface cards. inking, and bottom feeder. Okay. All right, so this token here is leeching. It belongs to the shark. Works just like parasitic, but it goes on whichever of my species has the greatest population, which is this one. So this one has leeching, and now this goes over to the whale. So now the shark is going to try and attack at 4, but before it does that, it leeches to here. So if it can't attack this one because it's got a defense of 5, this one has a defense of 2, so it would gain 2, and here it would gain 1. So it's going to attack where it's going to get the most out of it. There we go. And now the whale's going to forage 3 from the reef. Now both species age 2, which is going to give me something to leech off of, which is good. And so for my turn, I'm going to make a new species. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to do that by placing both Gigantic Scavenger and Deep Sea Kraken on it. So that's going to cost me 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And where do I want to put that? I think Ocean Zone 3. So before I feed, this one has parasitic here. So let's take those. And the species here has parasitic here. So now I'm going to have this species attack this one. Oh, I didn't think that through. I'm going to have this species attack this one, I guess. That's not what I was going to do, but it's going to take all of these. And so now this one gains because this one attacked, so it'll gain from here. And this one, its arrows, because of Nomadic, can reach this one, so this one has Symbiotic as well, and it'll gain 1 times 2 is 2. Now this one may attack one additional time, and I will. I'll attack this one. It has 6 attack, this has 5 defense, so I only gain 1, but any population from any attack after the first goes directly to the score pile. And so because this one attacked, this one again will gain, and the one that I attacked will gain 2. And now my species age. So this one, oops, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And I'm going to get rid of schooling, inking, and bottom feeder. Put them on the discard pile. I'm going to move the discard pile to here. And I might as well look at the deep cards. Let me grab 4 of those. I have Symbiotic, Electroception, Endurance, and Warm-Blooded. So I'm going to take Symbiotic for now, but I really want Endurance. And actually, I kind of wanted all of these. But now I need to draw 4 more surface cards. Apex Predator, Speed, Shark Cleaner, and Symbiotic. That's a combo. So now the opponent's going to go. We're going to take 2 more defense, put it here in the shark, and 2 more forage, put it here in the whale. So the shark is first going to leech 2 from here, and then attack here. And for the whale's part, the whale wants to forage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the reef. There's only 2. So it only takes what it can. And now both species will age. And I need to get level 3. So let's see what we've got. These are obviously increasing in strength. There's 5 levels. So if you want to play the game, make it a little more difficult, you can start on level 2 or level 3 or higher. There's a lot of tokens in the level 4 and 5 bags, so you can probably start at those levels if that's something you want to do. So what am I going to do? I think I'm going to take the Shark Cleaner card and play it on this species who may have one extra trait. So when a species with 3 or more attacks, this one will gain 2 if it's the closest Shark Cleaner on either side. And then I'm also going to pay 1 to put this additional special Whale Cleaner card here. If a species with 5 or more forages, this one has 5, so when this one forages, this one will gain 4 as long as it's the closest species. So now before I feed, this one is going to leech from here. And so I'm going to have this species attack this one. So it still has 6 attack. This one has 5 defense. So I take 1. But now I've triggered Symbiotic on this one. Can reach here. So this one will gain 1 times 2. So this one gains 2. This one has Shark Cleaner, which applies. So this one is going to gain 2. We're getting close to emptying that second zone. And this one has Symbiotic, so it's going to gain 1. And now this one can attack 1 additional time, so I'm going to have it attack the same one. So this is going to be a gain of 1. Is that what I want to do? No. I'm actually going to attack this one so that it gains 2, and all these gains go directly into here. Now again, this one will gain 2. And this one will gain 2. And I've just emptied zone number 2. So species double their population take from any ocean zone. These have none. This one can't double. It can only go up to 10. And because of this immunity, there is no overpopulation. So this one's just going to sit at 10. This one can double. This one can double. And this one can double. And then this one also gains 1. There we go. And now all species age 2. 2 off of there. 2 from there. There we go. Now things are happening. Great. So I think I'm going to get rid of this Symbiotic as well as Apex Predator. And I'm going to take this Deep Trait and then 3 more surface traits. Whale Cleaner, Shark Cleaner, and Tentacled. So that will be interesting. Now it is the opponent's turn, so that goes there, and also this goes there. Won't be attacking that shark anytime soon. The shark is going to leech 2 from here. Now the shark attacks, and it'll end up taking these 2 from here. Now it's the whale's turn, and there's nothing in the reef, so the whale can't forage. So if we look at the top card of the discard pile, the migrate number is 6. So first it's going to migrate that amount from the closest ocean zone, 2, 4, 6. And then it's going to eat 5. So I'll just put 1 there. It's going to take these 5. And with this special deep whale cleaner, this one now gains 4. Very handy. And now they age. Here's 2. Here's 2. This is looking pretty good. Back to me. And this is going to be a pretty cool move, I think. I'm going to play this speed card to this creature. And then I can have 1 extra trait. So I will also play this Electroception, which costs 2. And I think I want to put these here. I think. Try and trigger that food surge again. I think that'll help me. So now before I feed, this one is going to leech 2. And this one is going to leech 2. So now I'm going to have this species attack this one, and it now ignores 1 defensive trait. So it's going to ignore that defend 5. And so it's got an attack of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's just going to wipe this board. I guess it'll take as much as it can. It's unable to overpopulate. Oh, but it won't be able to feed again. That's not ideal. Oh well. So this one can reach here, so that's going to gain 2. And now I've emptied that ocean zone again, so all species double their population. So this one's just going to be full. And this one's going to gain another 2. This one gains 1 as well. And this one is going to, it won't gain any from the doubling, but after a species with 3 or more attacks, gain 2 if this is the closest shark cleaner, and it is. And this one can't even get its gains now, so everything is going to age 2. So nothing goes extinct. I would like to get some traits where something is aging more, though. Like warm-blooded, for example, or endurance. So I think I will gain endurance, and I don't think I need this tentacled or this whale cleaner, so we'll get rid of both of these. Hold on to the shark cleaner and get 3 new surface cards. Whale cleaner, parasitic, parasitic. I haven't seen one filter feeder yet. I'm way beyond wanting that strategy, though. So let's go to the opponents. So they're going to, these are special spots. So this, we're going to get rid of the lowest token value-wise. So we got rid of a 1, replaced it with a 2. And this is going to go right here. And then this starts with parasitic. It takes these 2. And the shark now feeds, and it actually attacks this one, which only has defense of 2, and this has 4, so it takes 2. And now the whale is going to forage 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the reef, but there's only 1 in the reef. The reef's not empty, so it doesn't migrate, it just takes the 1. And now both species, oh, and then this whale cleaner gains 4. I can only hold 2 more, so we'll take the 2. There we go. And now both of these age 2, and it's back to me. But I think I'm actually going to make another species right here. I'm going to put the whale cleaner on it and the shark cleaner on it. Oh no, I don't want to put the whale cleaner there. That's going to mess things up. But I can put the shark cleaner, and then I'm going to discard this tentacled and replace it with endurance, which is going to cost me 3. And yeah, I think I'll put him here. I want that food surge again. So now before I feed, I broke this parasitic, so I can't take that, but I can still take 2 from this one. And now I can have this attack something. So I might as well attack this one. And all I can take from it is 4. So I take as much as I can. No overpopulation. And now this one is going to gain 2 from here. 1, 2. And this shark cleaner is going to gain 2 because it's the closest, plus 2 because every time it takes a population now it gains, or every time it gains it takes 2 extra population, so it needs to take 4. So here's 1, and I just triggered this, so everything needs to double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one doubles, goes to 2. This one can't double. This one can fill up. And this one can't double because it has 0. This one can double, though. It gets another one. Well, there are 2 fish left. And this one was in the middle of gaining. It took 1, it needs to get 3 more. So here's 1, 2, it still needs another, but the ocean is empty. So we need to empty the reserve fish. So here's the reserve. And in a solo game, that immediately triggers the end on whoever's turn it is. It doesn't matter who started. Well, you always start, but it doesn't matter whose turn it happens on. It's always this is the last turn of the game now. And so this is the closest shark cleaner on this side. So this is going to get 2 as well. And then everything ages. So we age this one, this one, this one. This one ages 2, and then an additional 2. And this one ages 2. And so that is the end. So now we just count up all the fish in the score piles plus whatever's on the species. I think I've got a pretty decent lead here, but I'll count it up real quick. So 31 for the AI opponent Oceanic, which means I must have 69 green fish, plus I've got 3 yellow ones, it looks like. So 70, 71, 72 for me. So that is a pretty healthy victory. Maybe it's time for me to step up the difficulty, but this was pretty cool. I really like this game. You know, looking at these 2 scenarios that I had drawn, I was really gunning for like a filter feeder, and I wanted to, maybe be able to have something that had additional, can hold maybe 9 more population on its species board and just keep feeding and feeding like crazy. But that's not the way I went at all. Next thing I knew, I had this crazy predator that was attacking multiple times. And I never did get to use the effect from Gigantic Scavenger. I would have on this next turn when the shark got this token here, would have had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack, which is at least 5. So then when that attacked, I would get 2 population back from the attack. That would have been cool. But yeah, I really love the addition of the deep deck. That brings so much variety to the game. It's really cool. And then there's just some minor improvements as well over evolution climate, like being able to place a new species in between existing species rather than having to put them on the sides. And the official solo mode, of course, is a really nice benefit too. So this has been Oceans. I'm way into this game. It's super cool. Let me know what you think. Have you played anything in this series, whether it's evolution or evolution climate or evolution flight, Oceans, or I think there's a game coming out soon. I don't think it's out yet. I think the next in the series is called Nature. So whether you're watching this after Nature comes out, or if you've got some sort of insider information on it, let me know what you think and which game in the series is your favorite and why. But anyway, this has been Oceans on Table for One. If you're still here, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all of the above, and leave some comments, because I definitely want to hear about what you think. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.